I'm so sorry. Please don't scream. I swear I had no intention of breaking into your apartment or home? Whatever this is. I promise I'm not a threat. At least not to you. I was actually trying to find a place to lay low for a while. Or at least try and get home. But as you can tell. You see, I am a new hero around these parts. Joined the Night Crusade a few weeks ago, actually. But, well, it seems I may have been underestimating my own abilities more often than not. Not that I mean to. I'm well aware that the villains who plague this city are, well, dangerous seems like too light a word to use in their case. But I feel like it's the one that describes them the best. Anyhow, even though I know that, and I try to be as careful as I can, sometimes I let myself become too excited or work past exhaustion. It's always been my dream to grow up and help people, ever since I was a little girl. And when I learned I had these abilities, I decided to put them to good use. You want to know what kind of abilities? Oh, well, since I'm new here, I suppose you wouldn't really know much about me. But they're all celestial-based. For instance, I can create these shields. Not an extremely large radius, but usually enough to block incoming projectiles or physical blows. Yeah, my current state would sort of make that seem a bit silly. But to be fair, I was working in a place where moonlight couldn't readily reach me, making my powers a bit more finicky and weaker. I know it's a bit of a silly weakness to have, but it is what it is. Oh, no, please don't worry. You don't have to tend to any of my wounds, I promise. I would hate for you to stress or burden yourself with taking care of me. I'm going to be perfectly fine. So long as you just let me sit on your couch for a little while. I'm well aware it might look like I'm in really bad shape. Hell, I probably look like I got run over by a tank. But another one of my abilities allows me to heal, sort of? At least faster than most humans can, considering their biology. As long as my body is in the light of the moon and stars, it can heal slowly over time. It's nothing fantastical. I probably wouldn't be able to heal any life-threatening wounds on my own, but for simple bruises and such like this, it's easy enough. I can even heal others too, when given the right circumstances and enough time. If I am healing someone else, then I actually can heal more dangerous and fatal wounds. Though in order to do so, I have to give up a bit of my own life force in return. It can be a bit of a heavy cost, which is why I don't use the power sparingly, and only when I feel I absolutely have to. What other powers do I have? You're a rather curious one, aren't you? Well, none of my abilities are that flashy, really. I mean, much like my shield, if I have enough starlight, I can create these ribbons of soft light. They don't harm anyone, more so restrain them from hurting themselves or others. I also have the ability to partially ignore gravity. Nothing as fantastical or amazing as flying, no. I feel like the best description for it would be more like moonwalking. Slow, gentle falls from high places, momentary hovering, and more or less weightless movement when it comes to combat or flight-like leaps. Those are the majority of my abilities, in all honesty. Though, I feel like I've been talking about myself for ages now, and haven't even properly acknowledged what's going on. After all, I did break into your home. Something I feel awful about, by the way. Is there anything I could do to make it up to you? I mean, seriously, anything at all. Oh, you're right. I never did tell you my name, did I? Sorry about that. I suppose my mind isn't exactly present at the moment. Not that that's a good excuse, but to answer your question, you can call me Starfall. That's the name I decided to call myself as my superhero alter ego sort of deal. I feel like it was a fitting name given my abilities, and it was sort of cute. At least I felt like it was. But that's besides the point, really. I would tell you my real name, but as a hero, she has to keep her identity somewhat close to her chest. Sorry, bruises are still aching a bit. Even though you've been nothing but kind to me since I broke your window and practically stained your couch, I still can't be too careful. It's for both my sake and your own. Trust me. Hmm? How did I end up in this condition? Well, it's a bit of a long story, and I wouldn't want to bore you or anything. You wouldn't mind? Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt to tell you a bit. I'm sort of new to this whole thing, so I don't know how often heroes tell citizens about their super amazing, wonderful adventures. Right. You see, there was this fire downtown, in that large mall out by the park. I'm sure you saw it on social media. The other heroes of the city and I had gathered together, thinking it would likely need more than one person, since it had spread over such a vast area. While the other heroes joined together to fight the threat at its source, I stayed behind. There were still people trapped in the building, and I wasn't just going to leave them there. So, I did my best to hold up the building using starlight, helping to carry out survivors from the smoke and into the waiting arms of the firefighters who were aiding me. Occasionally, I would find myself in precarious situations, taking a falling bit of rubble to protect someone else, forcing my own shield to shatter so a child wouldn't get crushed between it and the falling building. I took hits I most certainly could have dodged, but that would have meant someone else took them in my place. Right, the healing thing. Well, as you can see by the light shining through your window, as dawn approached, starlight faded, and so did the strength of my powers. I did my best to heal the wounds, at least the worst of them, but my energy was already drained, and without the stars it wasn't going to replenish. So I basically ended up collapsing inside the abandoned building. The people were safe, the threat had been taken care of, and, of course, the attention was instantly drawn to the more flashier heroes. They're saving the day. Why am I here, then? A good question. In all honesty, I was trying to get back home, to rest and recover after everything. But with my weakened state, I suppose I might have misjudged my powers, and while trying to jump to the top of the building, I only made it to your window. Or through it, more or less. Sorry about that. I promise I'll send you some money to repair it, but perhaps for now you wouldn't mind if I rested? It's been a rather exhausting night, and it would be really nice to relax for a bit before heading back. I promise that... Huh? You want me to stay? I mean, I was just going to rest until the sun hit the middle of the sky and then head home, but... Well, if you enjoy my company that much, I wouldn't mind staying a bit longer. At least until I can walk normally again. Thank you. I'm... what? Glowing? Huh. I suppose I am. It happens sometimes when I feel truly seen, which must mean you're one of the people I'm starting to feel comfortable around. It's not much of a surprise. You know, you really are a soothing soul. Maybe this can be more than just a chance encounter. For now, a nap seems like a nice place to start. Thank you again. I will never forget this. Nor will I forget the person who gave. Thank you again. Truly, I don't think I'll ever forget this night, or the person who gave a battered hero a place to rest beneath the fading stars.